Well, today he got through a level that he had not gotten through yet so far. Robert Kraft has been after the Hall of Fame for going on 15, 16 years. And he had always been stopped at the committee level. He never got out of committee. He never got out of this 9-person blue ribbon committee to be put in front of the full voting body of 50-some voters. Today he did. For the first time, he got out of committee. And so I think that is significant. And I'll give my take first on it, Greg, before I ask you and you guys. But my guess is, and Van Natta said, one of the things that the voters said they were holding against him was Spygate. Now, whether they were or not, we can debate. But that was publicly what they were telling people. Spygate, the biggest cheating scandal in the NFL. And that's being held against Robert Kraft, they said. Okay, well, if Bill Belichick got out of his committee, how could Kraft's committee keep him out? I said this to you about a month ago, that Kraft wanted Bill to get in. Kraft was going to ride in on Belichick's coattails, because if the voters and the committee let Bill onto the ballot in year one, or put him in front of the full voting body, how could that other committee with the straight face hold Kraft back from the same level? They have to let him go. So I think that's what happened. I think the subcommittee that was in charge of the coaches voted for Bill and sent him through. And that subcommittee that was in charge of the contributors and Robert Kraft had to say, well, now Spygate's off the table, because if they're going to let Bill, we have to let Robert. And I think that's what happened today. And I think Robert's in. I think this was the hurdle he had to cross. I think Robert's in, automatic. I think that's a no-brainer. Robert's in. He got in the Hall of Fame today, because the full voting body had been complaining that we'd vote for him, but the subcommittee never gives him to us. Now they got him. Robert's in. Bill, probably too. But what do you think, Greg, about the events of today?
Obviously interesting that Kraft finally advances, and I think you're right. I mean, you can't – I think Bill was definitely going to get through, and I think Bill should go in. I still think he's going to get in, even if there's going to be a few on the voting body that's have harder feelings. It's not quite the same. I was looking at the panel the other day. It's not quite the hard scrabble, veteran, lifers. There aren't as many as those.
Is that right?
Anymore. I mean, there's a real cross-section. Some people I'm looking at, I'm like, I can't believe this person has a vote. I've never heard of this person.
Bloggers, fanboys.
Yeah. Some of that. I mean, including, and I do think he should have a vote. He's not one of the guys that I don't think is justified, but like Aaron Schatz, my guy from FTN Fantasy, used to be from Football Outsiders.
A nerd.
He has a vote. Yeah, he's a nerd. There are some nerds on. So it's not like, the old school like Len Pasquarelli or Vito Stellino or any of these guys.
Borges is still a voter for.
I don't think he is.
Oh, who's the New England rep?
It's Volan and Curran both have a vote. And Schatz is local and a Patriots fan, so that's 3 local voters at least on the panel.
Yeah, but these smoke-filled newsrooms basically don't exist anymore, and a lot of these guys are dead or dying off.
Well, anyway, so, Mazz, what are your thoughts?
I don't think it's a coincidence that they're going in at the same time.
Me neither.
I don't think it's even remotely possible that it's a coincidence. I think that, in some ways, I wonder if, as you said, one side was waiting for the other side or waiting for Belichick to get there.
Well, all I know is, and I said this 2 months ago, the people that were keeping Robert Kraft out and using the excuse of Spygate could no longer hide behind that if Bill Belichick was on the ballot. You couldn't use it anymore. And so I think as much as they're at odds, Kraft really benefited from Bill Belichick being up this year. Really bad. I think he's gone in on his coattails, frankly. So what's interesting is that it's Kraft and Belichick, and then they're up against, and then there's 3 former players on the senior, voted through on the senior committee that are also in this grouping. And that's quarterback Ken Anderson, running back Roger Craig, and defensive end L.C. Greenwood. Apparently, voters can only vote for 3 of the 5.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
Kraft, Belichick, Roger Craig, Ken Anderson, L.C. Greenwood. So there's 5 that you can vote for in that grouping, and voters can only vote for 3 of the 5. So that has led, Van Natta said, that there is some feeling that might preclude Kraft and or Belichick. That a lot of voters are going to want to vote for 2 of the players or 3 of the players, but at least 2 of the players, thus only voting for 1 of the contributors. And in some respects, that might mean Belichick and Kraft are up against each other. What do you think of that, Greg?
That's what makes it delicious.
Yeah, exactly. And that they could be fighting and trying to persuade the same voters at the same time. I mean, we know Kraft does this because Van Nada's, written about it, and, Stacey James, his involvement, and that. But it's interesting that Kraft has gotten through this when apparently, like, the Belichick, the Kraft people like Stacey James and others who were lobbying for him took a step back. After basically they were ordered to stand down, and now all of a sudden Kraft gets through.
Well, it's amazing when you stop bugging someone.
Yeah.
What happens? Van Natta wrote today that Belichick and Kraft will be competing against 3 senior nominees that I just mentioned, Craig Anderson and Elsie Greenwood, because each voter can select only 3 finalists. Multiple sources among the voters say it's possible, maybe even probable, that Belichick could be elected but not Kraft, or vice versa. If you were voting and we're taking 2 players and then could only vote for 1 of Kraft and or Belichick, who would it be?
If I could only vote for either Kraft or Belichick?
Yep, you only get 1 vote for those 2. Who gets it?
Definitely Bill Belichick.
Bill
Kraft.
Not even close. It's
Not even close.
Belichick, not even close.
Not even close.
Not even close.
And I heard them talking about this on Zolak and Bertrand.
They all said Kraft, right?
Yes, and I wanted to reach through the radio and strangle some sense into all of them.
But I have a vote, and it's how I feel. So spite's involved. Go F yourself. Squirm.
Strangle Murray.
Yeah, strangle me. I'm voting Kraft.
Okay, but again,
go F yourself.
But at least you admit you're doing it out of spite.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get it. I get
Murray's
it.
like, yeah, of course.
Right. Like, I think the other 2 were saying because Kraft deserves it over Bill. And I think that's nuts.
I don't think that's debatable to me.
I think that is nuts. And again,
and I say that it's not just Kraft. It's not a Kraft thing. Any owner over any coach.
I agree. I've said this to you a million times. I have never met a single fan of any sport who showed up at the Hall of Fame and say, show me where the owner's plaque is. Who cares?
It's not just that. Who contributed more?
Bill.
Who was more responsible?
Bill.
I mean, we all know it's Brady, but
Bill.
Now I'm just asking you,
Bill.
who comes in second place?
Bill. Bill's behind Brady. Bill.
Right?
Bill.
It's not even debatable.
It's Bill.
Greg, your thoughts?
I'm just laughing at Mazz just saying Bill over and over again.
It's not even close.
The thing that's most interesting to me is just thinking of if they both get in at the same time. And the dynamics at play there. First of all, the Patriots will be playing the Hall of Fame game. So they start training camp a week early. So they'll have 4 preseason
Is that already
games.
been set?
No. But if they both go in, the Patriots are going to be there.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
I want them both to go in at the same time.
So the whole thing about how it's going to be, non-story, we'll talk about it, but trust me, they're going to be huggy, kissy.
Nice.
It's going to be nice. It's already started because Bill Belichick released a statement today about his being named a finalist, and he to be in this position is extremely humbling, blah, 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 blah. Second paragraph, congratulations to the other finalists, Roger Craig, Kenny Anderson, Elsie Greenwood, and, of course, Robert Kraft. He says, of course, Robert Kraft. I hope to see all of the deserving Patriots selected this year. And there's, Ronnie Harrison and others are still among the modern player pool. But when Bill Belichick says, congratulations to the other finalists, blah, 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 and of course, Robert Kraft, that's just an early indication of what you're going to get. A bunch of fake bullcrap.
Well, I don't know.
I do.
I mean, look, here's my point. And I know Jonathan Kraft is the X factor in all this. He's the one. Bill and Jonathan hate each other like poison. And I don't know if that's ever going to change. But when it comes to the old man, if they get in together, this could be the burying of the hatchet, that it's over for good between the 2 of them, because what's going to happen is they're going to have a meeting. They're going to let bygones be bygones. Kraft's going to say, look, let's hold the post-induction party together. I'll pay for it. You can invite whoever you want. I'll give you one of the planes. Like, that's going to happen.
You imagine those 2 reaching for a check?
Oh, my
Kraft
God.
and Belichick?
Oh, I know.
Oh, alligator arms. Those two.
Especially Bill.
I feel bad for the waiters that night. Those two.
No tips. This is a tip-free function.
We joke, but the it's good fodder. But they're going to make nice. That I'm fully convinced of. No question about it. They are going to make nice.
I want them to go in together.
Yeah, even with
because
that.
then they have to share it.
Yes.
Even
Yeah.
with that piece of work in Bill's ear.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Even with everyone in Robert's ear, everyone in Bill's ear. Yep. They're going to swallow it. They're going to fake it. Yes. Absolutely. It's not even a debate in my mind.
Those two have to go halvesies, and Tom gets his own day.
Mm-hmm.
That's the right way to do it. That's the way I want it to happen.
One of the two things we've been following is both Belichick and Robert Kraft being named finalists for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, getting out of the committee stage, which is no small deal when it comes to Kraft, for sure. Kraft has been at this now for 16 years. This is the first time he's ever gotten out of the committee. And it's, probably the reason why he hasn't been elected yet to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, because the word among the general voting body is that they'd vote for him if they had a chance to vote for him. If Kraft was put in front of these voters, he'd have the support. But he's never been put in front of them because that subcommittee won't let him out of the committee. He got out of the committee today. And it's my belief that it's a package deal, that there's another subcommittee that handled all the coaches. And Bill Belichick was voted out of the committee on that side of it. So if Bill Belichick is going to be put in front of the full voters, what's the excuse not to put Kraft in front of the full voters? In other words, if they were holding Spygate and all the nonsense against Robert Kraft, then you have to hold it against Bill Belichick. But if Belichick's going to get out of committee, then there's no excuse not to send Robert out of committee. So that I think they were a package deal. So that's interesting. Now the something about them going in together, to me, a non-story and something we're talking about is, can you imagine how awkward it's going to be? It's going to be a dog and pony show, folks. And it's already started. The Patriots sent out an Instagram post with Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick on it together, which again is more of my belief that Robert is sort of getting in on Belichick's coattails. If Belichick wasn't up this year, that subcommittee might still be boning Robert Kraft. And they could still sit there and say, well, Spygate, Deflategate, all that stuff, we can't, those are big cheating scandals. We can't let Robert in. But since Bill got in, and again, into the main voting, then there's no excuse to keep Robert out. So I think Robert needed Bill. And so the team put out an Instagram post of Kraft and Belichick together, Hall of Fame finalists, class of 26 finalists, them walking side by side.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Okay.
Like they're walking into the Hall of Fame
Like a
together.
buddy movie.
Exactly, like a buddy movie. Them walking side by side like a freaking buddy movie. You should get this, Vin, and put up on the simulcast.
Grumpy old men.
Like, look at those two, like Bill and Robert walking together. So anyway, the Patriots put that out, and Bill retweeted it or reposted it or whatever, the F. So it's already started. The dog and pony show has started. No need to ask, what's it going to be like? It's going to be arm in arm, make nice, get ready for it. To me, not even worth talking about. Item number 2, though, is, are we sure both are getting in? Because, again, they are, Kraft and Belichick are part of a subgroup. Okay, there's the 26 current player or modern-day player vote, which still has guys like Rodney Harrison on it and, okay, Vinatieri, that group. And then there's this side group, which is contributors and veterans committee, that sort of thing. And it's comprised of Belichick, Kraft, and 3 players from the Veterans Committee. And those 3 players were Roger Craig, L.C. Greenwood of the Steelers, and Ken Anderson, the quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals. Voters can only vote for 3 of those 5 guys. So if there are voters out there who want to vote in 2 of those 3 players, then they have to choose between Belichick and Kraft. Okay, so in some respects, they might be going up against each other. And as Don Van Natta wrote today, that there are some sources among the voting body that think it's possible, if not probable, that just one, Belichick or Kraft, will get in, not both. So that's an interesting sidebar there, too. If you could only vote for one, who would it be?
Bill.
Kraft.
Bill.
Belichick.
Kraft.
Bill.
Bill.
Kraft.
And, Greg, why do you say Belichick?
Because his resume is just absurd, not only as a head coach and winning 6 Super Bowls with the Patriots, but also what he did as Giants defensive coordinator in the champions he helped develop there. I mean, it's just, you don't get a better resume than what Bill has.
So what's interesting now is that they're up against or into this full body of voters. And it's a panel of, is it 50 people?
Yes.
Okay.
So you need 40 to get the 80%.
So you need to get 80, but you need to get 40 of
50
of the 50 voters. Now, the Associated Press back in last February, published the list of the voters. And it used to be, not too long ago, these were all old crusty. It was all pretty much all pro football writers. So PBWFA, whatever, the pro football writers.
PFWAA.
So it was the Borgeses of the world and those guys. Lenny Pasquarelli, as he mentioned before, and Rick Gosselin in Dallas, and Bob McGinn in Green Bay, like all those old-time writers. Now do you want to hear some of the people that are on this list? Who's going to be determining the fate of Belichick and Kraft? Again, these are and they only list 49. Here are the 49 voters for the AP NFL Awards as posted by the Associated Press back in February. Okay? So I assume these are Hall of Fame voters too, or just the... Well, anyway...
Good question.
Because we've gotten conflicting reports that we've heard that Borges still does have a vote. Then we heard, no, it's Curran and Ben Volen. Then we heard, no, Curran recused his AP vote, and now that's Bert. It's Bert Breer and Ben Volen. There's AP voters, and then there's Hall of Fame voters.
Maybe they are two different bodies.
So I think
that's a good point.
Those might be two different bodies. So the list you just sent me here, I doubt this is the Hall of Fame list the more I look at it. Because here are the list of the AP voters for NFL awards, like NFL MVP, etc.
Okay.
Kay Adams, Tom Brady, Teddy Bruschi, Tom Curran was on the AP list. I know he recused his AP vote. He doesn't vote for NFL MVP anymore. Go ahead, Greg.
I'll send you the Hall of Fame list. I found it.
Okay, so this isn't even it.
Yep.
Because this one had some, like, Mina Kimes.
These so this is the awards.
Those are the awards.
These are the awards. Jim Miller, serious. I'm just giving you names that you might have heard of. Dan Orlovsky. Pete Prisco, our guy. Nora Princiati, former Globe Runner. So these are Dana Rossini, Aaron Schatz. These are all guys who would vote for the AP awards, not the Hall of Fame. How about the Hall of Fame vote?
The Hall of Fame is the hard scrabble people.
Okay, so it is the old timers.
Yeah, and it says that Ron Borges is still the New England voter. This is the list on the Hall of Fame site. But you have guys like, Rich Cimini, Howard Balzer, Mike Chappell from Indianapolis, Jeff Legwold, Rick Gosselin is on this list, Tony Grossi, who will probably not be voting for Bill Belichick.
Right, exactly.
There's a lot of guys like that.
So it is the old school writers.
Yep.
So I've been saying to this point that I wouldn't be surprised if they hold Bill out year one. That if I had to bet it, I bet that they do block him because they've been blocking Kraft. Are they going to bust Bill's balls like they've been busting Kraft's balls for the same reasons? Getting out of committee is a big one for Bill. I thought they might stop him at the committee level. Like, it wouldn't surprise me one bit if that coaches committee said, you know what, Tom Coughlin first, and Bill Belichick, he's going to have to wait your turn. Robert's had to wait. You're going to have to wait. We're going to hold it against you like we held it against Robert. That I thought might happen. Now that Bill's out of committee, my guess is that he's going to get voted in. But there's still a chance, given the voting body, given the writers that are voting on it. I mean, if it were these AP voters,
he's a lock.
Oh, they're both in.
Bruschi, Brady. I say it with all Bert. Bert. I mean, like, come on, what are we talking about there? Like, but it's not the AP. It's the writers. Those old crabby writers still might stick it to Bill.
Harbor a grudge.
Yeah, if they made Robert squirm, odds are they'll probably make Bill squirm.
And it's not just harbor a grudge. It's from the past generation, kids, you wouldn't know this, but they weren't fanboys. The writers were ball busters. They liked to challenge the people that they covered and be critical of the people they covered and hold it against people that all that sort of is a whole different approach than what you get now from the kids and the bobos that cover these teams. It was adversarial in the day, more adversarial, I would say. And that group of voters is much more likely to stand on quote-unquote principle, what they believe to be principle, than the modern-day voters. Go ahead.
You know who's on the Hall of Fame
Give it to
voting
me.
list? Bill Polian.
So he's a big advocate for Kraft. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about Bill.
I got to believe, look, I'm naive sometimes when it comes to this stuff because I just believe in voting for the best people. And,
Send me that list, please.
and doing
did.
the right thing. I'd like
You just
to.
did?
Yep.
I'd like to
Oh,
think
sorry.
Belichick should be a slam dunk.
Well, they
fir-
both, they both should be, obviously.
Yeah, but the degrees aren't the same. The degrees aren't the same. I mean, Bill Belichick's on the field every Sunday. He devises the game plans, both as defensive coordinator when he was with the Giants and as head coach when he was with the Patriots. Like, to me, they're two totally different things. I personally would never put an owner in before I put a coach in. That's just my 2 cents. So, I think Bill's resume is impeccable. I mean, in terms of the accomplishments, were there some controversies? Yes, but his acumen as a coach is indisputable. Like if they kept Bill out, I would look at that as being kind of petty.
Yeah, he'll get in eventually.
And I can't stand the guy. Not that I was ever that close to him, but his credentials as a great coach are indisputable.
Yeah,
Yes,
no
Jim?
doubt. But if you could make him squirm a little bit, again, if I had a vote, spitefully, yeah, I'm voting Kraft over him.
Can I find 10 votes on the list that? So Greg did just send me the list of Hall of Fame voters, the 50.
Just to F with him?
Can I find 10 guys who are, again, in their mind, are quote-unquote principled and are going to stand on what they believe is right,
Definitely.
or hold a grudge against Bill, or just try and be consistent in that we made Robert wait for reasons. Don't we have to do the same with Bill?
So, but Robert never got to this group, right?
He never got to this group, but it's still the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
So it's not, these are, don't think of it in terms of strict rules. I mean, these are human beings.
Yeah, right.
Who are going to just sort of vote based on their own worldview and their own morality and their own value system.
Yes.
So,
So your question is, can you find 10? My answer is definitely.
can
I
I
got
find
10.
Can I find 10? Vic Carucci, Dan Pompei, Jeff Hobson in Cincinnati. Boy, he must be older than rope. Tony Grossi, older than rope.
There's one.
Rick Gosselin in Dallas.
2.
Jeff Legwold's been at it for a while. He's in Denver now, wasn't he, in Tennessee? Pete
Yep.
Doherty in Green Bay's been at it forever. John McClain in Houston.
He's been at Pat forever.
Love him to death. Older than freaking rope.
Older than dirt.
Howard Balzer. Freaking ancient. Or like Armando Salguera
He's a no.
in Miami. Could you think he could block Bill? He's kind of
absolutely.
He's kind of a bleepster.
Oh, is he?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, he'd love to.
I want to meet him then.
Ron Borges still has a vote for New England. His affiliation is Talk of Fame Network.
Yeah, it's like a podcast.
What the hell is that?
He does
A
with like
podcast.
Gosselin and a couple other guys.
Love you, Borgie. So he still gets. Ron's going to vote for them both.
I think so too.
He's not going to trust me. I know you think he would stand against these guys. He won't. Gary Myers,
He'll vote against him.
Oh God, that's a slam dunk.
Rich Samini, Paul Domowich in Philadelphia. Older than freaking dirt.
Samini's also a New York guy, right?
Oh, yeah, he
Yeah.
covered,
Okay,
he covered the Jets when I covered the Bay a million
4.
years ago.
Belichick's got both the New York guys in his hip pockets. Like those are guaranteed.
Ira Kaufman in Tampa. His media affiliation is JoeBucksFan.com. Say what? JoeBucksFan.com? How old is Ira Kaufman? I love you. I mean it. Like, oh my goodness.
We're going to start calling you Joe Bucks fan.
Joe Bucks
Every
fan.
time you talk about Giannis.
Is it a site praising the broadcaster or for the
named
Bucks?
BSJ that.
Joe Bucks fan.
Joe Pats fan. GregPatsFan.com.
Paul Kaharski. That's who I'm thinking of in Tennessee. Paul Kaharski.
Yep.
He's been at it for a while. Jarrett
Have
Bell.
another donut.
Jarrett Bell, USA Today, been at it forever. Mary Kay Cabot, Cleveland Plain Dealer, been at it forever. Guess who gets a vote at large? Tony Dungy. Can I find 10 votes? Alex Marvez. He's a rapper. Yeah, he's a troublemaker. Sal Powell's going to vote them all in. Polian's interesting. Jim Trotter.
Oh,
Jim Trotter could definitely. He's the one that's suing the league, I think, right? Is that Jim
Yep.
Trotter?
Mm-hmm.
So he's not afraid to say F you to the NFL establishment. Can you find 10 votes on there to keep Bill and or Robert out of the thing?
On that list of names?
Jimmy, can you find 10 votes?
I can find you 20 on that list.
Trotter, Polian, Lofton, Fouts, Dungy, Mary Kay Cabot,
Trotter's on the list.
Kaufman.
Anybody who's loyal to Shula?